We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 2 preview of A Brief History of Everything. I am Chris. I am here, as always, as your host. And this season's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a few tweaks and changes across the series. A lot of it's going to be very much the same. I'm still me, so you're going to get a lot of that commentary. And the sort of things we're going to talk about might tweak a little bit here and there, but it's still going to be enjoyable and it's still going to be fun. So just to give you the rundown of what will be taking place over the course of the next season. So the next season, we've got 12 episodes down. We've already recorded a large chunk of those episodes, so we're really excited about this. It's something that I'm looking forward to getting back into. I've missed putting these episodes out. Obviously, real life and real world situations have got in the way of that. These things can't be helped. But it's been really encouraging to see all the support the podcast is still getting. We're still getting lots of downloads. I'm still getting lots of feedback, lots of comments, lots of people asking me, when's the new series coming out? What are you going to be doing? So we've got 12 episodes at the moment, but that will expand once I get suggestions. And I'm going to put a couple of question pages up so that people can give me some feedback as to what sort of episodes they want to see in a bit of a grab bag scenario. So we might do a couple of those as well, and we might do just a question and answer session in there as well. But there are 12 currently down in the episode guide. There's already 3 or 4 recorded. They are ready to go out. I will be giving you, at the end of this update, I'll be giving you the date when the first episode of the new series of A Brief History of Everything will be out. What is the format this year? Well, the changes to the format are, again, first of all, it's me. It's a one-person, not a two-person. However, that doesn't mean you're going to listen to me just monotone droning along. I will be having a rotational cast of guests. So what I've done is I've gone out and got friends of mine, I've got some other professional historians, I've got some former students of mine who are actually studying history, who will be coming onto the podcast to have a bit of a chat. That'll be really exciting and interesting for me. And just a couple of other people that I know who are interested in these areas, along with some episodes that are just me. So there's a nice mix of that. Also, the other change that I'm going with is I'm going to intercut the different periods of history with some more popular culture history as well. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit for this series and still do some of the other stuff and also bring in some more contemporary episodes as well. So just to give you a rundown of the first few episode topics that are already recorded and ready to go, we're going to be talking about New Kingdom Egypt in the first episode. Well, why not? It's me, and anyone who's listened to the first series knows of my love, in particular of Hatshepsut. So, New Kingdom Egypt, and we're going to look at that right up to the death of Thutmose IV. So, looking at from the Asiatics coming to the new royal family coming in, building what is probably the most prosperous era that Egypt had ever known. So that'll be really exciting. We're also going to be doing, I'm also going to be looking at things like Napoleon Bonaparte, and there'll be an episode completely dedicated to assessing Napoleon. Anyone who's studied Napoleon previously knows that some people view him as a hero, some people view him as a tyrant, others view him as a madman. It's a rarity that you get a person in history that it is impossible to be neutral on. But I'm yet to meet a person when they've studied Napoleon who is neutral on the subject of Napoleon. So we're going to be looking at Napoleon Bonaparte, and I'm going to be looking at a lot of different aspects of his time in power and the way that he was viewed within France and externally. So that will be something exciting to keep your eyes out for. Also, there'll be a few pop culture episodes slid in there. For example, history of video games. Now, I'm a self-confessed video game nerd and collector. I collect old retro consoles. I have several dozens upon dozens of them. A lot of the rare ones too, and again, my idea behind this episode is to give you a bit of an explanation as to why it's more than just some people like playing games on a screen. The industry itself is a much bigger thing than that, not just from the money side of things, but the social impact and the driving social changes that have actually come through video games. It's a very important historical topic, and I'm very keen to have a look at that. I'm also going to be having a look at the Beatles. Again, this is partly going to be me doing things I wanted to do, but we're going to look at the Beatles and their influence on music, on society, on culture, on politics. You know, they are a band with a wide-ranging influence that is still deeply felt today. So So we can see there's a range of politics. Now, there's a range of different topics. Now, there's a lot more in there. There's a couple of episodes around sport. There's a couple of episodes around things like the civil rights movements, both in South Africa and in the United States. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be doing a very special episode on women in history. Obviously, I'm not doing that one alone. I'm going to be getting some of the most widely regarded and, for me, knowledgeable women that I know to talk history. And that will be an absolute treat to just sit down with them and talk about the way that women have been portrayed in history and women's roles in writing and how is that being redressed to the level that it should be. I feel like there are moves to finally redress that balance of, as one of my former students once put it, history being rich white men making selfish decisions. I like the idea that that's being redressed. Also, a couple of other specialist episodes, which I'm not going to get into just now, but that will all be coming up very shortly. Now, the first episode, I did say to you that I would be giving you the date. So, mark it down in the calendars, mark it down in your diaries, or just check your app on the day. Friday, the 15th of March, 2019, Episode 1 of A Brief History of Everything, Series 2, will be available. It will be available on all of the platforms that it has been previously: Libsyn, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. It will be up everywhere. It's everywhere you want it to be, basically. It's wine, it's candles, it's romance, it's sunshine, it's everything you want. So, really looking forward to getting this new series out there. Looking forward to also introducing you to a bunch of the guests that I'm going to have rotating through the studio. That will be possibly for me the most fun. I like getting to talk history with people, and this will give me a chance to sit down with a range of people and talk all sorts of history nerd stuff, and I genuinely can't wait. I'm hoping you're looking forward to coming alongside this journey with me, and so until then, catch you on the flip side. See ya.